Ladies and gentlemen and members of the public, real estate signage, you see it all around town. There is an undercurrent, there is an underworld. It's a real thing, real estate signage. We're going to have a joke with it today and tell you everything you didn't know about. It's pretty bloody interesting. Stay tuned. Hey,
Good morning. How are you?
Cleo Wids here. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm great. It's not raining this morning, so yeah, can do the school drop off and get to work without getting drenched. I love it.
We're going to have blue skies in Sydney, I think, but it's still cold.
It is still cold. It's very cold, but cold is good too. Cold's good. Keeps you young, they say.
So, Claire, tell me about real estate signage. It's what a lot of people don't know is it's a big ticket item. Agents and their clients spend a fortune with signage at the front. The signage is not only the boards that go in front of the property, but it's the directionals and those little things they stick in the ground up on corners. In some areas, they go ham. They put hundreds of them up on street corners. There's window signage for commercial properties. It's a big deal. It's a big cost.
It sure is, and we've come such a long way. Like looking back at when I first started in real estate at the signboards and what they're like now, like it doesn't even compare with how that signboard journey. I know it's a pet peeve of yours. Our signboards have evolved over time, and the art of perfection is definitely what we strive for at Novak with our signs.
It's pretty funny. There's a bit of warfare in there. There's signage warfare, signage mafia. There's agents dobbing each other in on their signage for the people that don't know. There's agents that steal directionals. They steal because what happens is that thing that goes into the ground is worth about $80. So they often steal the directional signage and then put their core fluid sign in place of it. There's a real thing that's never really spoken about in public, but like I don't know if you know how we've got that property for sale up in Minkara.
Yes.
We said to the owner, look, this is big 5 acres. It's on pretty much 2 streets. There's 3 opportunities for signboards. Let's go. It's $8 million property. $10 million property, whatever it was. Let's go hard with signage. He's like, good idea. So we put a signboard up, which was 6 foot by 4 foot, which is sort of the size of a bit bigger than a double door fridge.
Like
3 signs.
Yeah.
Like a billboard, 3 of them. And then council called us and said, get that signboard down.
What? Because it's distracting to the drivers?
No, because someone complained.
Oh, they dobbed in. Oh, really?
And my owner's like looking at me going, why would anyone complain about signage? Like we're in the middle of nowhere, It's not like it's a main road or something. And, it's pretty sort of, the signs look actually pretty small when they're in, on a 5 acre block.
Yeah, the scale, yeah, for sure.
And then we took the signs down and we put like a bit of banter between the council and took the signs down. And the sign we put up, the regulation is 1.2 meters squared of surface area. So pretty much that's about a meter by a meter. And the owner was like, that is ridiculous, that size. Is that the largest board you're allowed to have? And we're like, yep. He's like, that is pathetic.
And who determines that signboard sign measurements? Like, honestly, that's like a Jimmy Giggle skit. Who decides that
the size of the board?
Yeah, this is just crazy. But I do know the warfare side of it. I remember, you would strategically place your board in front or somewhere in front of another agent's board back in the day. Like, especially when, it was Ocean Street, I remember, and, Ocean Street's a popular street, and, we'd always put our boards out last, so you'd see the agents then put their boards in and you put yours right in the front. And then you go there the next Saturday and yours has been put back or moved, and you're like,
moved
what?
or kicked over,
Graffitied even.
defaced. But we were told by the council guys, it was another real estate agent that complained on our board.
Wow. And there's not
We
so many properties for sale out there. Like, what the?
I was
Honestly.
like, are you serious? Like, to give you an idea and perspective, these boards are $300-400 a board. Generally, the sellers pay for them, and it's like, give the guy a break. And look, I think, do real estate agents go wild? Yeah, maybe. We probably go a bit hard with their real estate signage. But it works. It works. It actually directly sells properties for people that just don't know that it's available for sale. They would never go to the real estate portals to have a look. They wouldn't go to social media to have a look. And next thing you know, the one in their street comes up for sale, and they know that because there's the board that's in front of the property. They actually work really, really well. So they're really essential part of marketing in our campaign.
Yeah, it's the most simple form of advertising, the product, the office, and how people can get in touch with the person, who's handling that. Even in rentals, we get calls all the time, notice the board go up. Is there something for rent in this building? And then you can then direct them to a yes or a no, or we have something else. But the signboard is what triggers them, which is really good and important. What about the owners that are funny about having neighbours know their properties on, they don't want the signboard?
Well, some owners, yeah, some owners like, no, we don't want a board because feel a bit uneasy. I've got to say, when I sold my place, and the board went up. For me, that was the biggest drop of oh my god, oh shit, that's when it really hit me the most, is when
Yeah,
I physically saw the
final.
ball from. Yeah, that's what it hit me like a ton of bricks. But there's something about a board going on your property. It's big and it's emotional. But yeah, some owners just don't want it because they don't want the neighbours to know. But it's like, how can your neighbour not know when they see a bunch of suits turning up all the time in front of your property, walking in and out? Isn't it bloody obvious? And buyers standing at the front, two buyers standing at the front of the property waiting for the real estate agent to turn up. It's weird.
Yeah, it's almost like a dirty secret sort of thing, isn't it? You don't, I guess when you're in your community as well, sometimes you don't divulge the reasons why you're selling, or you're moving or this or that. So it is a way of publishing what's going on in your life to everybody else around you.
Yeah.
We also have the stratas that don't let you have a signboard at all. There's like a bylaw. There's no signboards.
Well, we've got a place in Jubilee, 15 Jubilee, Warriewood, where we've got, there's 25 townhouses and 50 storage units. This the developer said to me the other day, he's like, man, what's with all the boards in front of the property? And he sold most of them now, so everyone's reletting them. A couple of people are selling, but there's 9 different signboards in front of his property, and he's like, "What? I didn't even realize there was that many real estate agents that do commercial in the Northern Beaches." So it doesn't look good. It
Signboard
doesn't look
overload.
overload. And particularly, it's less prevalent than when I started in the business, but in residential, people used to have 2 or 3 agents. So agents used to have 2 or 3 boards or 4 boards in front of the property. One house with 4 boards in front of it. Looked terrible. Looked like the owner can't sell the property. Looked like it just made the property look bad. But you don't see that as much these days. But it does happen. Agents on the board, when there's lots of boards at the front, looks like shit.
Yeah, on the one property, I agree. I do recall someone saying, you know, about market share, and when you're out driving around and you see all the signboards, you know, whatever stands out the most is, you know, who's got the most boards out there, like how he who has the most boards wins the war, you know, like that agent has a lot in that area, or, you know, you used to be able to, yeah, tell, oh, they must be doing really well. There's a lot of their boards around, you know. That's another indication with signage.
Well, those things that stick in the ground, we call them directionals. And they say open 2 to 245, 27 Francis Street, right?
Yeah.
The agents were getting to a stage where for that one property, they would put 12 signs out, and they would they would start like all the way up the end of the street to the all the way up the other end of the street to the next street to the street after that to the street after that to the street after that. And what actually started to happen is you started to go through Chroma was where I noticed it the most. People would nail suburbs with these directional signs that poke into the ground on a Saturday, and then it started happening on a Wednesday, and then agents were actually leaving them out sometimes over weekends. It got really messy. Council just went, can't do anymore.
Done. And that was the office junior's job, wasn't it? The night before, the Saturday, he had to go out at night and put out the directionals for the Saturday morning.
Oh, it was a big thing, but you know that signage is huge. And then another thing that we do is the signage for commercial properties in glass windows. But you know what? I think in terms of what you said, like people that do dominate with signs, they do dominate the suburbs. I think signage definitely works in the industry. So if people are out there scratching their heads, is it for my property that signage, or is it for the real estate agent? Probably a bit of both.
Both. Yeah.
Um, but it definitely sells properties.
Yeah, our commercial signage is so innovative. It's a lot more creative, like with the lighting and everything. The, you know, amazing commercial people do at our office. I mean, our signboards for residential rentals, you know, having them go from for lease to leased, you know, is not so innovative. But it would have been back when I first started. You just got that sticker out, didn't you? And then you just had to put the sticker out.
They all
And
got stickers, and they all went sticky when you rip the stickers off. So now our boards just get switched. The
which is
back
great.
says lease to the front, and the front says for lease. Oh, look at Dave. Novak dominates the beaches. Yes.
Yes, yes, we do.
Um, but one of the things that if people don't know, they're from out of the area. One of the things that we do before we go is pink lights. So in commercial properties, we'll light up the inside of the building hot pink, and when you drive past at night, boy, does that turn heads. It's not a brothel
So
red.
good.
It's a hot pink. Um,
So
but it
80s.
looks it's so 80s, and it really turns heads. Do you want to see a photo before we go?
Yes, please.
I here we go, guys. This is your hot pink, and again, it is signage, so it's just lighting, but look at that.
Yeah, so you can't go past that and not have a conversation about what that is. That's like vivid stuff. It's so good.
It's like vivid.
Yes, it's sick. Insane.
Right. So talk about making a place pop. There you go, guys. There's signage for you, and there's our signage. You can see the black and white compared to the rest.
Yeah, we
Nuggets on
definitely
there.
stand out. That's so good.
Boom shakalaka turns Volleyball's head. Yeah, you know Vel. There's Vel.
Yes.
Sorry, Dave.
Yes.
All right. Have a
Lovely.
great day, Cleo.
Bye, you two. Talk soon.
Everyone have a
Bye.
great day. That's real estate signage. Love you. See you.
See ya.
Bye.